Rick and Morty Season 9 ends with one of the most emotional moments the series has ever delivered. After witnessing the complete destruction of an alternate Smith family, Morty returns home with Rick, takes control of the frictionless bike, and together they openly acknowledge what their relationship has truly become. Not simply grandfather and grandson, father and son. That single moment feels small on the surface, but it could completely redefine the direction of Season 10. Before diving into these predictions, it is important to remember that everything discussed here is speculation based on the events of the Season 9 finale and not officially confirmed by Adult Swim. The biggest change heading into Season 10 is almost certainly Morty himself. For years, Morty has been the frightened teenager constantly dragged into impossible situations by Rick. While he has become more capable over the seasons, he has always relied on Rick whenever things became too dangerous. The finale changes that. Morty watches an entire alternate family die right in front of him. Unlike the countless disposable variants seen throughout the multiverse, these deaths feel permanent. Rick is fatally shot, and a jet of his blood from the open portal slices Summer in half. With his last breaths, that Rick opens a portal into Jerry, causing fish to emerge from Jerry's abdomen and kill him. Beth then picks up a glass shard and stabs herself. Those moments are unlike anything Morty has experienced before. They are not jokes. They are not instantly reset. They leave lasting emotional scars. Because of that, Season 10 could begin with a noticeably different Morty. Instead of constantly panicking, he may become quieter, more thoughtful, more cautious. His experiences could force him to mature much faster than anyone around him realizes. Simple family arguments that once annoyed him might suddenly seem insignificant because he has already witnessed a version of those same people disappear forever. At the same time, he may struggle to reconnect emotionally with Beth, Jerry, and Summer. Every time he looks at them, he could remember the horrifying fate of their alternate counterparts. That psychological burden may become one of Season 10's strongest emotional storylines. Rick's character could also experience a subtle but meaningful evolution. During the final bike ride, Rick accepts the idea that he and Morty are no longer simply grandfather and grandson. Although Rick will almost certainly pretend nothing has changed, that conversation fundamentally alters every future interaction between them. Rick rarely allows himself to become emotionally vulnerable. Instead, he hides behind sarcasm, inventions, and alcohol. Now, however, he has effectively accepted responsibility for Morty in a much deeper way. Rather than treating Morty like an assistant, Rick may begin giving him greater responsibility during adventures. Instead of always making every decision himself, Rick could allow Morty to take charge of increasingly dangerous situations. Some episodes might show Morty successfully leading missions, proving how much he has grown. Others could explore the consequences of overconfidence. Morty's growing independence may create mistakes that force Rick to intervene, reminding both of them that growing up is never a straightforward process. Another storyline that seems perfectly positioned for Season 10 involves the suburban universe. One of the most tragic characters in the finale is not our Rick. It is the alternate Rick. Unlike the Rick viewers have followed for years, this version rebuilt his life after losing Diane. He stopped drinking. He attended Alcoholics Anonymous meetings. He remarried. He became a respected physics professor instead of the universe's most dangerous scientist. Everything changed because Morty unexpectedly arrived. Trying to help Morty return home slowly destroyed everything that Rick had spent years rebuilding. His obsession with portal technology pushed him back into alcoholism. His wife left him. Eventually, he died alongside the family he had tried so hard to protect. The multiversal Ricks who arrived for the estate hunt witnessed the aftermath of that disaster. That detail could become extremely important. Those alternate Ricks now know that another Rick came remarkably close to recreating portal technology independently. Even though the experiment failed, the prototype still exists. Season 10 could introduce a completely new faction of Ricks attempting to recover or reverse engineer that technology. Some may view it as the future of portal science. Others may resent Morty for destroying one of the very few universes where Rick actually found peace. This could create an entirely different kind of multiversal conflict. Instead of fighting evil Morty or another cosmic villain, Rick may find himself opposed by Ricks who believe Morty's arrival ruined their chance to study a revolutionary scientific breakthrough. Morty's guilt may also drive much of the season. Although none of the tragedy was intentional, he cannot ignore the fact that his arrival directly changed that family's fate. He might secretly revisit other universes searching for people he accidentally harmed. That secrecy could become another source of conflict with Rick. Rick notices everything. If Morty begins disappearing without explanation or hiding new portal activity, Rick will immediately become suspicious. Rather than asking honest questions, Rick would probably respond through elaborate tests, passive-aggressive jokes, and increasingly dangerous adventures designed to discover what Morty is hiding. The Smith family may also experience major changes following the emotional shift between Rick and Morty. Jerry has always struggled with insecurity. Learning that Rick and Morty now openly view each other almost as father and son could deepen those insecurities. Whether he consciously understands the change or not, Jerry may begin feeling even more disconnected from his own son. That emotional tension could finally force Jerry and Morty into meaningful conversations rarely explored by the series. Beth may face equally difficult emotions. Rick has effectively stepped into a role that traditionally belongs to her family. As Rick grows closer to Morty, Beth may be forced to confront unresolved feelings about her own childhood and the years she spent believing Rick abandoned her. That storyline could naturally reconnect with themes surrounding Diane and Beth's complicated relationship with Rick. Summer is perhaps the most unpredictable character heading into Season 10. She has adapted remarkably well to Rick's chaotic lifestyle over recent seasons. However, Morty's emotional withdrawal may create unexpected distance between the siblings. Summer might try encouraging Morty to enjoy ordinary teenage experiences again, while Morty increasingly struggles to relate to problems that now seem insignificant after everything he has witnessed. Another fascinating possibility involves the funeral hopping concept itself. Morty's journey exposed him to countless alternate versions of himself. Some died young. Some lived dramatically different lives. Others escaped the adventures that shaped our Morty entirely. Season 10 could revisit that idea by introducing surviving Mortys who successfully built independent lives away from Rick. Instead of repeating the evil Morty storyline, the series could explore a community of self-sufficient Mortys who rejected the traditional Rick and Morty relationship altogether. Some may admire our Morty's decision to embrace Rick. Others may view it as a dangerous mistake. This would allow the show to continue exploring Morty's growing independence without simply revisiting familiar villains. One small detail that could become surprisingly important is the frictionless bike. At first glance, it appears to be nothing more than a stylish ending. However, Rick and Morty often transforms seemingly insignificant inventions into recurring plot devices. The bike now represents shared trust. Morty literally takes control while Rick willingly allows him to lead. Season 10 could revisit that symbolism repeatedly. Perhaps Rick and Morty use the bike during quieter moments between adventures. Perhaps someone steals it. Perhaps an enemy weaponizes the technology behind it. Whatever direction the writers choose, the bike has become more than transportation. It represents the balance of control between Rick and Morty. The season could also explore Morty's unresolved trauma much more directly. Although Rick's solution to emotional problems usually involves suppressing memories or distracting people with increasingly ridiculous adventures, those methods rarely solve anything permanently. Morty may begin experiencing intrusive memories during otherwise ordinary adventures. Moments of extreme danger could suddenly remind him of the suburban family's deaths. He may even attempt recreating that peaceful family life somewhere else, only to discover once again that perfection does not truly exist. Rick's attempts to help would likely remain deeply flawed. He might invent technology to erase painful memories. He could force Morty into new adventures, hoping excitement replaces grief. Or perhaps, in one of the show's rare emotional moments, Rick simply sits beside Morty and admits that some memories are impossible to fix. If Season 10 builds toward one central conflict, it may ultimately force Morty to make another impossible choice. Imagine discovering another peaceful universe where he could permanently stay. A loving family. A safe home. No constant danger. Everything he once believed he wanted. Would he leave Rick behind? Or would he return once again to the chaotic life they share? The Season 9 finale strongly suggests the answer. Morty has already experienced a seemingly perfect family. It ended in unimaginable tragedy. By comparison, Rick's universe is dangerous, unpredictable, and emotionally exhausting. Yet it is real. Rick may frustrate him every day, but he never truly stops coming back for Morty. Likewise, Morty repeatedly chooses Rick despite everything they have endured together. That may become the defining message of Season 10. Not that Rick and Morty have become healthier. Not that they've solved their emotional problems. But that they finally understand the relationship they share. It is messy. It is deeply flawed. Sometimes it is even destructive. Yet it remains genuine. The mysterious post-credit scene involving Mister Poopybutthole also leaves one final mystery hanging over the next season. Amy is using Mister Poopybutthole as a test subject in an attempt to locate the variant of her husband that he replaced, leaving the situation unresolved. Whether that leads to an entirely new storyline or simply serves as another long-running mystery remains impossible to know. Either way, it provides another thread that Season 10 could finally explore. As for when we might actually see these storylines unfold, Adult Swim has not yet announced an official release date for Season 10. Based on the show's recent production schedules and its pattern of late spring premieres, however, a debut sometime in May or the summer of 2027 currently feels like the most realistic window. Writing for the season is already complete according to showrunner Scott Marder, and the team has moved into active production, even sharing an early raw animatic at San Diego Comic-Con. Like the seasons before it, Season 10 is expected to deliver another 10-episode run. If these predictions prove accurate, Rick and Morty Season 10 will not simply continue delivering outrageous science fiction adventures. Instead, it could become one of the series' most emotionally driven seasons, exploring how both Rick and Morty move forward after openly embracing a bond that has existed for years, but was never fully acknowledged. The Season 9 finale marks Morty's true coming of age, transforms Rick's role from reluctant guardian into something much closer to a father, and leaves both characters carrying emotional scars that cannot simply be erased with another portal. Whether those changes ultimately strengthen their relationship or slowly pull them apart may become the central story that defines everything to come.